Hey everyone, I'm Bloom, and welcome to episode 1 of the World League Recap. Today marks the beginning of our weekly recap series, where we'll get a chance to take a look at everything you need to know to stay up to date with the GeoGuessr World League. We currently have 40 players battling it out for 20 weeks, gaining points towards their world ranking. How do they get these points, and what does the world ranking even mean? Well, in a 2-0, the winner gets all the 3 possible points. However, in a 2-1, the points are split, and the winner gets 2 points and the other player receives only 1 point. The player's world ranking will decide who qualifies directly for the World Cup. Only the top 12 will guarantee their spot in the World Cup in August. Let's take a look at our scores from week 1, as well as our overall standings now that our first week's finished. As we can see, both Zigzag and Feneb, 2 Australian players, managed to impressively win both of their matches 2-0. During the second slot of the day, these were the final scores as well. For me, most notably from this slot was RC playing out of his mind, winning both of his matches 2-0 in an extremely convincing fashion. More on that later. Finally, with those matches playing out, we have a look at our overall standings. As we can see, only 3 players flawlessed all of their games, earning them 6 points, and 8 of our players managed to win 5 points. Only 2 of our players had 0 wins during week 1, but hopefully we see a comeback. And remember, some players didn't even play this first weekend, so stay tuned to see them get in the action. Now it's time to see a bit of how this all actually went down. We're gonna get to take a look at some highlights from both on-stream games and off-stream games. And stay tuned, because at the end, I'm gonna give you my new Bloom's Blunder of the Week and Bloom's Best of the Week, featuring my personal favorite guess from the day. On the first broadcast of the day, Blinky took his moving game against Eamon, but we saw Eamon come out kicking in the no-move game. Then, we saw some of that classic Blinky magic, even on no moving. And with it finally evened up, Blinky took the game. This was an exciting one. In another match, after taking 200 damage, Feneb managed a crazy 2-round win after the nerves clouded Clement's judgment. But in Game 2, Clement redeemed himself with a great no-moving guess in Halifax. But Feneb ended it out with an insane Russia guess. During the second broadcast, RC vs Lenley started the stream with RC failing to guess in round 1, sending him instantly down to 1,136 health.
I don't see anything. Wait, is Radu not guessing?
I think Radu might have just decided to not guess because it was NMPZ. What? I would assume we're just going to get a little restart here.
What is going on?
However, he still managed to win the game, ending with 1,115 health. And after that insanity, he managed to win the no-moving game, getting him the 2-0.
Definitely makes sense. Okay, Lenley's much further east, though.
Yeah, that's a pretty big spread.
Would be closer to where Radu is right now, but it's hard to say.
Yeah, I think me as well.
Oh my goodness.
That is an amazing guess.
Built different.
That wins him the game. He also managed a flawless V89, a very feared player who many have been waiting to show up in the World Cup scene.
Not what's happening in round 1.
Yeah, it would just appear that RC going in quick, and even not actually debating, almost went to South Island, but RC just knew exactly where it was.
It sure is.
And
oh, man.
Radu knows it, he's on it.
Look at that quick 5K.
That is an insane guess. He's debating the switch. He's keeping it there.
And he wins. Does he win on that?
Does he with 3? No,
no,
he doesn't. 10. 10 health.
Not even Sala. I think Radu's got it.
Yeah, this is gonna be the game. Yeah.
Masterclass.
Absolute masterclass from RC. That was insane. But V89 did not go down so easily, managing to stay alive all the way to the end.
Similar guesses here, but if RC is closer, he can win. Oh my gosh.
And he's on it again. I don't even know what to say. That is just it. And that concludes the RC Masterclass. Let's take a look at some highlights from the other matches.
Indeed. And what do we have here? Is it Malaysia again? It seems like it. We have
and a state flag even, so... Is that the right flag? I don't know.
I would believe Zigzag, because he did make a document on region guessing Malaysia a while ago, so he did do his research.
And we have an Indo guess.
Oh.
You didn't see the Malay flag.
Ooh,
and that's gonna be
Crutcher
game.
Didn't get to it, yeah, definitely.
I think he had it on the screen for a second, but he looked at the infrastructure.
If you wanna vibe guess this, if you don't wanna use the Google card to make a region guess, I would say this is still something you can pick up on the vibes.
I really like Zigzag's guess just because it's not super like green, where you would see it in Petropavl, but rather a bit dryish, which makes more sense for a bit more west. But we have a very far west send in October from Kratzu. Now he switches back to close to Astana. He's not sure at all.
Doesn't know whether to commit or make a safety hedge.
Yeah, he's very nervous right now because he's switching all over the place.
Zigzag's road lines up very well, and he is again right on it. He's playing out of his mind.
Not a 5K because the map borders are a bit different, but Zigzag winning the game 2-0. But so far,
card plate looks kind of more US than Mexico, I want to say, but
we have two very different guesses. It could just be in the middle of the Coahuila, but
it could be right between their guesses as well. Yeah. But it was just on the label of Mexico.
And is that
almost
game, Trevor?
Game. That is almost
that it?
game.
The Maltese?
Yeah, I can't get a good enough look on it. And why do we have tiled roofs?
I mean, it could just be...
Yeah, we shouldn't be.
It could be West Sumatra.
Yeah,
that's the other place you get these poles.
Yeah, and these... Mainly my thought was Sulawesi because of the palm trees, but you also get them in West Sumatra.
And they're both on the same stretch again.
Oh,
and Consus! 5K.
7 meters in the 5K range. Yeah, it's the one where it's sticking out on one side with the insulator. At least it looks like one.
And Sheena thinks he has the 5K because he's...
I mean, Sheena is very good at Argentina.
True.
Therefore, I would believe he does, and he does indeed.
And it's very close to La Pampa, I'm just saying that.
Striking back with the 5K. Sheena staying alive.
And not an easy round.
No, not at all.
Do we have information? Because both of them instantly zoomed in.
We have both in Pucallpa. I mean, it is green. It is Peru.
Wait, we have a switch. Puerto Maldonado.
Ooh.
Is it?
Maybe he's using the grid? It was.
It was? I mean...
Wow.
Wow.
What was there? Did he use the grid? Did he find something on the sign? Was it vibes?
Probably should be, given I'm from here, but...
Fair enough.
It's a very difficult country to guess. I mean, this... Especially an urban round like this is... Ooh, what does that say? Spokane, Washington. Okay, well, if Skill Issue doesn't see that, this will probably end the game. Or at least come close to doing that. But Lenley looked around and found the info hidden up on that building. Yep.
No, he hasn't seen it. That's gonna be game 2.5 times damage. That's it. And he puts the sunglasses on. Lenley. And they both drop a GG.
for Spain. I definitely can see it. Sort of empty, dry landscape.
I do
Both have the
like
exact same idea
Spain.
here.
They're pretty close.
That's gonna
Landley.
be it, though, isn't it?
And new sunglasses, a new pair. A lot of sense here.
I agree.
And this is just a strict vibe guess. They're going off the plants, they're going off the landscape. That's all they have.
Mata guessing in South Luzon. That is a good deal further south. What a guess from Mata! Pointing at the
Wow.
camera. Okay, hang it on here.
Yeah, hanging on round 6. Quick Oman
Salah.
guess.
Yeah, he sees the... Yeah, it makes sense with the landscape, and you can see the shadow of the car. Clement does not know.
We might
Oh,
have
he doesn't know at all.
Now he's
Oh,
gonna
and
know
he's-
he does.
Oh, but he's gonna go north. And MK. Look at
MK
that.
with 3.5 times damage. That is huge
Enough.
points, and that is
Wow.
game.
Look at that.
MK
Just-
wins the NMPZ. Now, it's finally time for some highlights from games that weren't on any of the broadcasts. We know you want to see them. Let's take a look at some highlights from Harrier versus Feneb. Staying on the Harrier train, let's take a look at his game versus Trickter. Or how about a crazy round from Blinky versus Anu? In the Malfunction versus Dev game, we saw a crazy round 10 on the moving. We also saw a super impressive end to the Ocean Man vs. Moo NMPZ game. Everyone was waiting for V89, and we got some nice highlights in his game against Flyme. And my final off-stream highlight pick was Gingy versus Ocean Man. Now, it's finally time for Bloom's Blunder of the Week. Let's take a look.
Yes.
We have Nova
Have a
Scotia.
Nova Scotia guess from Yannick, which makes sense with the double yellow line.
We have a main guess, so it's kind of US versus Canada.
Splitting countries again. And again, it could just be right between them. And it's Oregon.
And it might be enough to win.
Twist.
It's the game. That is.
Wow.
This has to be my favorite blunder of the week. What an insane way for the game to end. Both players on the wrong side of the continent. Captain somehow manages to be just a little bit closer and it wins in the game. And finally, the Bloom's Best of the Week. Let's see it. Well, I mean, what an insane no-moving guess from Moo on Austria. I don't know how he did it. I don't know what he saw, but that is easily my favorite guess from this week. Guys, that wraps up our show. Let's take a quick final look at these overall standings. Make sure to tune in next Sunday at 12 and 19 for our 2 broadcasted segments of games, where we'll be seeing these matchups. I'm personally really looking forward to V89 versus Sadzu, as well as Debre, Cat's favorite, we all love him, coming back, making his first appearance, versus Harrier. Harrier didn't manage to win any of his games in this first week, but I think he's a little underrated. I think he's going to come back, so it's going to be exciting to see what he can get done this next weekend. Guys, tune in. We'll see you next week. I've been Bloom, and as always, peace.